Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today it's time to say Happy Halloween. And yes, I know it's technically still July, but ladies and gentlemen, today we're talking Halloween, and I am delighted. You see, I love Halloween, and I love the Pokémon TCG, and I love Pokemon at Halloween. And last year, I did a thing I've wanted to do for many years and never actually done, but I did it last year. I went onto the Japanese Pokemon Center and I imported far too much Pokemon-themed Halloween stuff, and I don't care. There was a pumpkin banquet, I was invited, life was good. But then again, Pokemon did some other stuff. There was a Halloween advent calendar with little figures, and there were playmats Halloween-themed, featuring both Gengar and Mimikyu. But obviously, I, like a lot of you guys, what we really wanted... We wanted Halloween-themed Pokemon TCG cards. Well, look no further, ladies and gentlemen, because they're here, and they are real. And they are actual Halloween booster packs of the TCG. But there is a gigantic but here, and that is... This is appearing on the US website as it stands at the moment. It's not currently appearing on the UK website. And that's a little bit of a problem. You see, Halloween in the UK is very different to Halloween in the US. And I'm not saying these aren't coming to the UK, I don't know. What I can tell you is, it has been announced on the US website. That's what we've got at the moment. But there is something that kind of fills me with a mixture of both joy and dread. You see, at the end of the press release, it says this. Furthermore, trainers can stay tuned to a new Halloween product collection spanning home decor, plush collectibles, and more from Pokémon Center, the premier online destination for official high-quality Pokémon merchandise in the US, Canada, and the UK in the coming months. So it specifically does refer to the UK. Remember, that's one of only 3 places you can actually use the online Pokémon Center. But that's at the end when it's talking about the Halloween collection. I'd like to think if they're doing a Halloween collection and they're putting that on the UK Pokemon Center, they've got to make these cards available as well, you would think. But we don't know, and that's very important. I will tell you, I had 0 trick-or-treaters last year, which actually suits me down to the ground because I buy a bunch of sweets just in case. No one comes to trick-or-treat, I get a bunch of sweets. Now, no one comes to trick-or-treat, I get to keep the Pokemon cards, and I feel like an absolute winner. I was a nice person, I got it all ready, no one came, and to be fair, my house is super annoying to trick-or-treat at. It takes so much effort to actually get to my house, it really isn't worth the risk that I haven't got any sweets. But hey-ho, that's the deal. My point is, this is happening, and this is awesome, and I love it. Now, in terms of the other Halloween stuff, we can talk about that more at the end. What do we know about these cards? Well, each Pokemon TCG Trick or Trade, I love that they've gone for that. Each Trick or Trade Booster bundle includes 40 themed mini booster packs, each containing 3 cards that highlight a spooky Pokemon, such as Zubat, Gengar, Pumpkaboo, Mimikyu, and Poltergeist, and feature a Pikachu Jack-o'-lantern stamp on every card. Families can enjoy passing out trick-or-trade boosters to neighbours and friends, while young trainers trade cards in search of their favourite ghoulish Pokemon after a night of trick-or-treating. I don't know about you, but how cool would it be if this was it? Like, around your neighbourhood, nobody was giving out sweets, everyone was giving out Pokemon cards. No one gets the unhealthy sweets which we know are bad for you. Everyone shares their love of Pokemon and trades cards. Tell me that does not sound amazing. So essentially what you do is you buy it as the booster bundle, and then you get yourself 40 mini packs, which essentially give you 120 cards, each of which are stamped. And I've said this many, many times before, I am a gigantic fan of stamped cards, and I adore that they're putting stamps on all of these. These are absolutely brilliant. I absolutely love them. Go team, ladies and gentlemen. Go team. Now, the stamp is just the stamp we see on the front there. So that Pikachu pumpkin, that is going to be the stamp that appears on the cards. And essentially, you're just going to get a whole bunch of psychic Pokemon. And I wouldn't expect to be getting much more than psychic Pokemon. But there are going to be a bunch of psychic Pokemon that you can get. But there are a bunch of questions that we don't have here. For instance, how many different cards are there? Now, if there's 40 mini booster packs and each one has 3 cards, then that gives us 120 cards in each booster bundle. Incidentally, we are not yet given a price for the booster bundle, so I apologize for that. I can't tell you. And so that's going to give us 120 cards. Is that likely to give us a whole set? Like, if I go and buy one booster bundle, is that going to give me all of the cards? Or do I need to go looking and, getting 3 or 4 of these? Because like I've said, once I've completed the set, I ain't getting many trick-or-treaters, so there isn't much point in me actually keeping these around. That would be a waste of time. So I'm sorry, that's a big question we need answered. We need to know the price of this. That's pretty important. And we need to know how many cards are actually in there, and obviously a complete set list would be quite nice. I mean, if we have a look here, in terms of the cards, the Mewtwo has to be the one from Brilliant Stars, because we're presuming these are going to be Sword and Shield cards. They kind of have to be, we're in the Sword and Shield block. That's the only single prize, non-V, etc. Mewtwo that we've actually got, so that kind of seems like an absolute given. In terms of Poltegeist, well, theirs is the one from Sword and Shield, but you've got to think it's gonna be the Mad Party Poltegeist. Like, it's gotta be the Mad Party Poltegeist. It would be super weird if it wasn't. In terms of Pumpkaboo, the only one we've had in the Sword and Shield block is the one from Evolving Skies, which is actually a really good card for discarding a stadium in play. Actually sees a bunch of play and is a legit playable card, which is actually kind of awesome, so I am loving that. In terms of Gengar, we do have the one from Sword and Shield, but I rather suspect it's going to be the one from Chilling Reign. Neither of them are hideously playable, but it's still kind of cool. As a side note, yes, I am aware there is a new Gengar, which is going to be coming along in Lost Origin, but these release, I should have told you earlier, these release on the 1st of September, whereas Lost Origin comes out on the 9th of September. There is absolutely no way this has the Lost Origin Gengar. It's probably the one from Chilling Reign. And then the other Pokemon they go and name there is Zubat, and in terms of Zubat, I mean, it has to be the one that came around in Battle Styles, because it's the only Zubat we've had in the Sword and Shield block. And this one's kind of interesting, of course, because this is a Darkness type Zubat, which makes it a Darkness type. Most of these are going to be Psychic type, let's be clear, because spooky Pokemon, you're talking like Ghost type, Psychic type, etc. But you will find maybe the odd one like Zubat that's spooky but Poison type, so it comes in as a Darkness, or is just a Darkness type. Outside of Darkness and Psychic, I think you're going to be struggling, but for those two. And if they are just straight reprints, they're going to be tournament legal, and that is awesome, which is lovely. It doesn't actually say, I don't think anywhere that they're reprints, but I'm fairly sure they are reprints. So here's what we are actually told. Today, the Pokemon Company International announced an upcoming Halloween campaign inviting trainers to incorporate Pokemon in their spooky celebrations with themed activations and merchandise across the franchise. To kick off the program, the Pokemon Company International revealed the new Pokemon trading card game Trick or Trade Booster Bundle, providing parents and kids with a fun and innovative alternative to candy for trick-or-treating when it launches on September the 1st, 2022 at participating grocery stores and mass retailers. That is actually a really important point. This is being put for grocery stores and mass retailers. This is not a product which is aimed at you or I to go and buy at your local hobby store. This is a product which is aimed at parents to buy and then give out to kids who are trick-or-treating. You are going to find it in supermarkets. You're not going to be finding it in places like your local game store. At least that's what we can learn from the press release, which is kind of awesome. And then that's pretty much it. There are some quotes from some people in the Pokemon Company, but they don't give us much more information about actually what this product is. So we've still got some questions. We don't know exactly how many cards are in here, which is a bit sad. And we don't know exactly how much this costs, unless I'm being dumb and I've missed it, which is a little bit sad. And I don't know how many of these I need to buy. The biggest question for me, I don't know if these are coming out outside the US. Because again, this is specifically mentioned as coming to participating grocery stores and mass retailers. And then later on at the end of the press release, they talk about a new Halloween product collection from the Pokémon Center, but that's separate to the booster packs, or at least it seems to be separate to the booster packs. And that does make me a little bit nervous. The thing that makes me happy is, whereas last year I was importing all this stuff from the Pokémon Center in Japan, it looks like I can just buy it all from the UK this year, which does make me quite happy. But either way, I adore this. I think this is a wonderful idea, and I desperately hope this becomes an annual thing. They aren't just reprints. If these were just standard reprints of common cards, I would not care even a little bit. But the second you put that Halloween stamp on, I am in, ladies and gentlemen. I am all the way in. I love seeing new cool stuff for the Pokémon TCG, and this totally seems to count. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think this sounds cool? Are you excited? Am I getting excited over nothing? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and Pokemon cards and other card games and things of that nature. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, you can join the Discord and chat Pokemon, share deck lists, get pretty much weekly bonus pods where I answer all your questions, talk about anything you want to talk about, and I give shout outs to lovely people, like for instance the lovely Javier Garcia, who has been a supporter for a little while. Javier Garcia is a lovely person. Thank you very much for being a lovely person. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.